So the one thing that we have done just recently, we finished 75 hard. I know that was kind of a big thing. Obviously, it's 75 days. What was kind of the big takeaways for you with that program?
Well, to be honest, at the start, when you first mentioned you wanted to do it, you asked me if I wanted to do it, I was a little hesitant. 75 days is a lot, and running a business, being a mom, being a wife, all of that stuff, I didn't know, like, how am I going to fit this in? But yeah, like the biggest thing was just, if you commit to it, you just do it. And there was a lot of growth through those 75 days, just with like confidence and discipline and just like the things that you had to do for the 75 days, I don't think were hard. The hardest part was getting them done every day. There were some pretty early mornings, pretty late nights, and yeah. But
for the people that don't know, what were the things?
Well, you had to take a picture of yourself every day, and you had to work out twice a day. One had to be outside, so those minus 40 days weren't that fun to do it. But and then drink a gallon of water. Some nights I was drinking half a gallon before going to bed, so that was interesting. And what else was there?
Reading 10 pages.
Oh yeah, reading the 10 pages. So that was good because I read probably more books in those 75 days than I have in the past 5 years. And they had to be business books, so it couldn't be like, Harry Potter or whatever. And what was the last thing? There's one more. Oh, diet. Follow a diet. So I chose a paleo diet. We were trying to get away from like processed foods and just eating a lot cleaner. So, and it was good.
Which of the things did you think was the hardest?
Drinking the water, actually. Yeah. I think getting that in seemed to be kind of the hardest. After a few days, like, I really looked forward to the walks outside that we did. Like, we did walk, I guess, but
yeah, everything on their own, I don't think none of the things on their own is hard at all.
Yeah,
it's just
doing it every day for 75 days, all of it in a day.
Yeah. And a lot of people have reached out and said they want to start. I do think it's, if you're a couple, it helps a lot too.
Yeah, there's definitely like that accountability piece, and it was nice to have somebody to do it with.
Yeah, and I even think just like it would seem kind of selfish to like, or if you came home and then you have to go on a 45-minute walk, and if the other person's not on board with that, or like you're reading when you're taking care of all 3 kids or whatever the thing is, I think it would be tough.
And again, that's where I think we make a good team, and if we're committed to something, we kind of make it work together. So.
Yeah. I think too, when we initially seen it, and like one of the things is the picture every day, and it seems kind of silly to do, but I'm glad you did, because you actually notice like the incremental changes a lot more with it. So yeah.
And I am glad that I did it, because I was at a place where I just wasn't feeling great about myself and that confidence thing, so it was a good.
Yeah. How much weight did you lose?
30 pounds.
30 pounds.
30 pounds. But I had the weight to lose because just had a baby. So.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think a lot of people will be, they always say like, oh, we don't have the time, or it's just a bad time.
Well, and that's the other thing too. Yeah, you can always use, you don't have time, but you have time for the things that you prioritize. So that was like another big takeaway, is like, you just prioritize it and you just get it done. And
yeah, and I don't think if we were to ever pick a time, it would be when we had a new baby and 2 kids, and we're obviously taking over a new building. So I do think you find the time. I was really happy with it. I think mentally it did more, probably like physically, obviously there were changes, but it's when you can just cross things off the list every single day.
Mm-hmm.
I do think
you do feel accomplished for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So for anyone wanting to do it, Andy Frisella is the one who kind of puts it on. He has a couple podcasts that kind of describe exactly what it does, and again, I think it's even called like a mental program more than it is a physical one. But I think it's really good, and yeah, 75 days went by pretty quick. There's 2 other parts to it, which I plan to do, and for me at least, I think I'll probably do it every year. It was pretty cool.
I think too, like the thing that you said was cool is, when you post about it and you say you've done it, the amount of people that have reached out and is like, oh man, that's so inspiring. Like, we want to do it too. So
yeah,
it's nice.
Yeah, that's always nice to hear. And that's the part, like, I don't like posting about stuff like that. And it's always kind of a weird thing, because when people get like a new car, they'll post about it. But then if you do something like this,
lose 30 pounds, you feel guilty for posting.
Yeah, you don't want it to seem like you're bragging or whatever. But we definitely had people reach out, so it's cool to see for sure.